Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're stepping onto the gridiron, into that high-pressure world of professional sports.
Yeah, where everything feels magnified.
Exactly. And millions get spent on strategy, on analytics, the perfect play call, the X's and O's,
Like
the
that kind of
practical
stuff.
stuff, yeah. But success, it often hinges on something, well, less tangible. It's about leadership, real team cohesion.
That human element. It's crucial.
It really is, because winning over a locker room, especially one that's maybe been through some tough times, that takes more than just being smart. It needs authenticity.
It's fascinating, isn't it, how often organizations, not just in sports, focus so hard on strategy, they almost forget the pieces are people.
Right. People with motivations, needing connection, needing trust to really hit their peak.
That bedrock of trust.
And that's exactly what we're diving into today. We're looking at Anthony Campanile. He's the first-year defensive coordinator for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And there's this real buzz around his leadership style already. Honestly, you don't often hear this kind of unanimous praise, this grand praise, our sources are calling it, so early on.
No, that's pretty unusual.
Yeah.
So our mission here, I guess, is to unpack why. Why is his approach hitting home so strongly with players, with the staff?
Especially given the context, right?
Exactly. Considering, the Jaguars defense struggled quite a bit last season. It was a steep hill to climb.
Yeah.
So we want to uncover those specific qualities drawing this praise and maybe what wider lessons there are about effective leadership in any high-stakes place.
Okay, so let's set that stage properly. The Jaguars defense last year. It wasn't pretty.
No.
The sources are clear. Amongst the worst in the NFL in most major categories. We're talking things like third downs, red zone.
Key situations where you need the defense to step up.
Right. And they were consistently near the bottom. It felt like more than just, a few bad plays. It seemed systemic.
And it wasn't just team stats either, which sometimes you can hide things. What really stands out is that most players saw their production shrink.
Compared to the year before, that's telling.
It really is. It suggests it wasn't just a scheme mismatch. It hints at something deeper, maybe in the team dynamic. A lack of belief, maybe? Disengagement.
Yeah, when individual performance drops like that across the board,
It points to a bigger issue.
definitely becomes a leadership challenge then as much as a tactical one. So, okay, Campanile comes in. He's got to change the scheme, obviously.
Standard new coordinator stuff.
But these sources explicitly say his big task is to win over a Jaguars locker room that frequently was not on the same page as the last defensive staff.
Wow. Okay, so that's a direct challenge laid out. Rebuilding trust, basically.
It's huge, isn't it? Sets up just how critical his leadership is right from day one, not just his plays.
It really is. How do you rebuild that trust? Especially when players might feel let down or like things weren't working before.
Good question.
And the fact that he seems to be doing it, or at least making strong early progress, is pretty remarkable.
So let's get into this grand praise. Because it's not media hype, it's coming from inside the building.
Right, from people there every day.
Take Bill Sheridan. He's the senior defensive assistant. He says, and this is a quote, "I think our players have totally fallen for Anthony Campanile, and honestly, they should."
Totally fallen for him. That's strong language.
It is, and Sheridan wasn't there last year, so he's coming in fresh. But he sees a roster that's just bought in immediately.
That's interesting. Does he say why?
Yeah, Sheridan points out no pushback, nobody raising their eyebrows, none of that.
Yeah.
He sees active acceptance, maybe even eagerness.
Not just going through the motions.
Right. He adds, you would too if you're around him. Would be very hard not to fall for him. He's just a very genuine guy.
Ah, okay. So it comes back to that authenticity we mentioned.
Yes.
In these high-pressure worlds, like pro sports, people can usually spot a fake pretty quick. So being genuine, that builds psychological safety, right? Players feel the coach is reliable, not just putting on a show.
Yeah, they can trust him. They can commit without second-guessing motives.
And that lets them actually focus on playing.
Very genuine guy. Such a simple phrase, but it means so much in that context. You said it. Players spot when a coach is not their genuine self. Authenticity changes the whole dynamic.
It really does. It moves it beyond just a transaction. It's not just do this because I said so.
It's players wanting to do it, wanting to go the extra mile.
Precisely. And if you think bigger picture leadership, that trust, it's the absolute bedrock, isn't it? Football field, boardroom, doesn't matter.
Absolutely. Without it, the best plans can just fall apart. People hold back.
They don't take risks. They don't fully commit. Campanile's genuineness seems to be cutting through any skepticism right away, building that foundation fast.
And it's not just the coaches saying this. The players, too. Josh Hines Allen, star linebacker, key veteran.
Yeah, important voice in that room.
He says, Coach Camp has been awesome this whole time. He's never changed. Now that feels significant, that consistency. How important is that, especially after the rough year?
Oh, it's massive. Never changed. That signals reliability, predictability. In a world that's constantly shifting,
Yeah.
players need that anchor.
It's like a baseline they can count on.
Exactly. It creates stability, that safety again, lets them focus on their job. But, you could ask, is this just the honeymoon phase? New coach energy?
That's fair. Always a bit of that early on. But Hines Allen seems to suggest it's deeper. He says, I know everybody says the mentality, the personality, he's a lot, but it's nice.
Okay, a lot, but it's nice.
Yeah.
Interesting phrasing.
Yeah, he goes on, because you step into that meeting room, you're going to expect one thing. So maybe intense, but consistently intense, not erratic.
Predictable intensity.
Right. And he clarifies, it's not just screaming. It's the passion. It's the love. It's the love of the game that he has.
Okay. That's the key differentiator, isn't it? Intensity fueled by passion, not just noise. That kind of passion is contagious. It's motivating. When players see their coach genuinely loves the game, respects it deeply.
It makes them want to tap into their own passion.
Exactly. Hines Allen even brings up Calais Campbell, a respected former Jag,
Right.
saying, Calais always told me, man, if you want to be great, you've got to love it, you've got to respect it. For me, Campanile gives off that. He respects the game. He loves it.
So it connects to this deeper reverence for the sport itself, not just strategy.
Yeah, it's like he embodies what it takes to strive for greatness in football.
Okay, and here's where it gets, I think, really profound. Hines Allen adds, he loves the team. He loves the players who are playing for him.
That's powerful.
He follows with, that can only give us trust and faith that if we go out there and give them everything we've got. Just think about that. A coach who loves the players, not just what they produce.
That changes everything. It creates this incredibly strong bond. It's not just top-down anymore.
It becomes reciprocal. Mutual effort, mutual belief.
Yeah. When players feel genuinely cared for as people, not just assets, their willingness to sacrifice, to push through pain, to give everything, like he said, it just skyrockets.
Transforms compliance into commitment.
Absolutely. It makes them want to play for him, for each other. It feels a bit like servant leadership, doesn't it? The leader serving the team's needs so they can flourish.
And Hines Allen's last point about him is kind of funny but telling. He says, I would love to keep seeing that upbeat. When he's calm, that's when it's like, all right, somebody's about to get cursed out. In a good way.
Okay, so even his calm moments have a known meaning.
Right. It shows that players understand his personality, even the intense parts, because it's consistent, it's authentic, it's not random.
That's a perfect example. It's integrated, they trust it, they know how to read it, which is such a contrast to being not on the same page like before.
Totally different vibe.
It suggests Campanile's bridged that gap. His authentic, consistent character built a new foundation where everyone understands the deal and feels supported. That trust is just foundational. Without it, nothing else really works.
So wrapping this up, what does it all mean? For the Jags, for leadership generally, we have this grand praise for Campanile, right?
Yeah, built on his genuineness.
His passion, his love for the players, that's created this trust and faith super early. Sheridan sees no pushback.
Which is huge. Immediate buy-in.
And Hines Allen nails it with the consistency, the passion, the love of the game, recognizing that it fuels commitment back from the players.
So connecting the dots. This early buy-in, driven by his authentic leadership, it really could be the key thing for the Jaguars' defense turning around.
More than just new plays.
Yeah, I mean, plays matter, techniques matter, but this is about revitalizing the culture. It's a powerful reminder, really, that genuine connection, consistency, respect, they're vital everywhere. Sports, business, anywhere you lead people.
Leaders focus so much on the what and how of strategy.
Right, but Campanile's success here, so far, highlights the power of the who, the authentic, caring person leading the charge.
It's that human element again, like we started with. The X's and O's only work if the trust and belief are there underneath.
He seems to get that on a really deep level. Performance flows from relationships, from feeling safe enough to give your all.
It's a great case study.
It really is. And it leaves you thinking, if players fall for a leader because they're genuine and passionate, what does that tell us about the real foundations of trust and high performance on any team?
Yeah.
And maybe the provocative thought is, How does that intangible stuff, that human connection, actually translate into tangible results? Wins and losses when the season starts.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder if that connection is the secret sauce.
That's a great question to ponder. The real secret sauce. Okay, that's all for this deep dive.
See you next time.
We'll catch you then.